Alright, what is going on, everybody? It's Matt Nabong with Nabs Fight Media coming at you guys with yet another video. Guys, you guys already know what time it is. It's time to bring on that boxing. Today we're going to be talking about the mega fight. We hate to go back and talk about it, but obviously, you know, we want this fight as boxing fans. We want it to happen. We've been waiting for it to happen, but we can't seem to get it done. You know, Gervonta Davis has kind of talked about Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. He said he leans towards an Errol Spence, and also said that, you know, Terence should have accepted the offer that was given. So just to go into that, that was recent when Tank was on the Rise podcast. It was very interesting. I always say go check it out if you haven't. It was a heck of an episode. But in terms of Terence Crawford, you know, he's been saying, you know, very much that he said that it doesn't really affect my legacy if the Errol Spence fight doesn't happen. As much as I respect Terence Crawford, everything that he's done within the sport, I think he's a tremendous fighter. He's right there with Errol Spence on my pound for pound list. I don't like to hear that kind of stuff just because it makes me think that he doesn't want to fight the best. You know, he makes it look like, you know, I'm trying to make everything happen for the fight. But there was obviously an offer on the table, and you didn't like it, which I respect. But I'd prefer that you said it that way as opposed to, you know, kind of just brushing it off and saying, you know, I don't need Errol Spence. I'm not saying that you need Errol Spence. I'm just saying I think it's a fight that you kind of owe to yourself. You know, as a competitor, I don't see how you can look at this fight and say, you know, I don't care if it doesn't happen. Because in your heart, if you know you can beat that man and you know that, you know, you can put on a show and make a lot of money, you would take that fight. That comes with, you know, being great. I know Terence Crawford's a great fighter. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. That's why in general I don't like to say this kind of stuff. But it's just like something that I look at, you know, from an unbiased perspective. I don't want to go in here and say, you know, I hate Terence Crawford. I think that he's scared of Errol Spence, because I'm not saying that. I just didn't like the statement, you know, being made that he doesn't need the fight. That may be true, but at the same time, follow it up with, you know, I've tried to make the fight happen, but I didn't like the deal. So until we can renegotiate and make the fight happen, you know, I'm going to stay active with other fights, and then we'll try to make it work again. That is the kind of stuff you want to hear. You know, if you're a Terence Crawford fan, if you're a fight fan, period, you don't want to hear, you know, I don't need the fight. It doesn't really hurt I don't think it really hurts my legacy, anything like that. Because, you know, that makes it seem like you don't care about what the fans want to see. And at the same time, you know, as a fan, you know, you want to hear that you're willing to fight all the guys and you're going to make the fights happen, no matter what it takes. You know, take Ryan Garcia, for example. No matter what you want to say about him, he can't really fight. He's not an actual boxer. He's only for social media. People only like him because he's a good-looking dude. Something along those lines. People always have something to say. But at the end of the day, you know, he asked for the fight against Gervonta Davis. He asked for it. It's a mega fight. He could have been very nitty-gritty with all the details in terms of the terms and, you know, the money not being right or what he wanted for the level of risk that he's going into that fight, you know, with. I feel like, you know, I respect Ryan Garcia in that aspect. You know, that's something that, you know, other fighters that have to look at and say, you know, sometimes it's bigger than the money. It's about, you know, proving to myself that I'm great. You know, Sean Porter has shown that, taking the short end of the stick when it comes to pay-per-view sales, receiving that revenue, and then the guaranteed purse money. You know, we know he's taking the back end of those deals against Errol Spence, against Terence Crawford, but he you know, he goes out there and he fights. He gave the fans what they wanted to see, and, you know, he knows in his heart there was nothing left to do in the sport of boxing. I don't expect him to come back, but why would you, unless you genuinely wanted to fight? I feel like, you know, Sean had made it very clear that, you know, I got to interview him, and he said that it wasn't about the money. It was about, you know, proving to myself, you know, what I could do in the ring, and he made the fight happen. There was no this side of the street, you're on that side of the street. There was none of that for Sean. He took the fight, made it happen. It wasn't the outcome he wanted, and he rode off into the sunset, and he's enjoying his life, has a successful podcast. I mean, like, that's the kind of stuff that you want to see. We want to see Terence Crawford, test himself out, as we want to see Errol Spence do the same. We just want to see the best fighting the best. That's just a very fan-friendly fight, and I feel like, it has to happen. That fight kind of has to happen. So I respectfully disagree. I do think that Terence Crawford not fighting Errol Spence could affect his legacy, could affect both of their legacies, because everyone's gonna wonder what would have happened if they had fought, if it never happened. So I think it should happen. I'm always fighting for that fight because I feel like it's so good for boxing, it's so good for both fighters, it's so good for the history of the sport. So that's why I think that Terence Crawford does need Errol Spence, despite what he said about not needing it for his legacy. But let me know in the comments, do you guys think that I'm being too harsh? Do you think that Terence Crawford, really doesn't need Errol Spence and it won't affect his legacy? I think that if he loses, it'll, affect his legacy. But if he wins, the stock rises, that much, and the story is going to continue to be told. So let me know what you guys think of this in the comments. I'll be reading, I'll be, reflecting on everything and seeing, listening to your guys' opinions, see what's up. But thank you guys for watching this video. That's going to wrap it up. And I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
That's going to do it for another Naz Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.